I laughed.
Hi, how are you, Dave?
I'm well. Good to see you. No, it's just...
It is there's the rest. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah. But that doesn't end up on the minutes. So, yeah. Bring that. Yeah. Always. Always. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If we're the bad guy, we've done our job.
The City of Vandalia City Council meeting for November the 20th will now come to order, and we will have a moment of reflection followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Thank you. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council, you've had the opportunity to review the minutes for the council budget workshop meeting of October the 9th, the council budget workshop meeting of October the 12th, council budget workshop meeting of October the 17th, the council study session of November the 6th, the council meeting minutes of November the 6th, and the council special meeting of November the 14th. Are there any changes that need to be made? Seeing none, they'll stand approved. We have no communications, petitions, or awards this evening, nor do we have a public hearing, and that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if there's anyone in our audience who would like to make comment to us, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and your comment. Good evening.
Good evening. Holly Wiggins, 660 Castle Creek Drive. Since we had a conversation about water bills, I thought I'd bring up that Gift to Power is a program, again, that we've partnered with the Salvation Army. So if we do have citizens that are calling in and looking for help with electric utility bills, they can go to the local Salvation Army office, and there will be help during the winter months for those folks that don't qualify for other state programs for helping their heating bills. So we do have that program running, and if you go to our website, dpandl.com/gift, you can give some money toward that program to help those neighbors that may be in need this winter season. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Hi, Linda Breidenbach, 1154 Park Forest Drive. I'm coming back. I was here in October because I had a concern about the possibility of having the Foxborough sign removed. And I just wanted to come before the council and thank each and every one of you for listening to me and agreeing that probably we could work this out. Rob Cron and his city service people worked on our sign, shortened it, reinstalled it. It's kind of close to the sidewalk, but everybody's happy. People who are pulling out of the Platte now can easily see oncoming southbound traffic. It looks very fine. As I drove out tonight, the street light shines down on it great. So we're happy in Foxborough. We have safe exit now, and we also have maintained our neighborhood identity. So I would like to thank everybody for listening. I've come to council a few times over the years, and each time I've left satisfied that I've been listened to, and issues have been resolved in a satisfactory and a speedy way, and it happened again this time. So thank you very much, and I know Rob is here, so I'd like to thank him again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Tim Rudd, attorney for Miami Valley Shooting Grounds. Just wanted to let the council know that we have invited the city attorney, the city manager, and the chief of police out to view the grounds. We have issued that invitation to them during the pendency of a current application, and we would like to issue that invitation to any one of you. We have also provided to the city attorney and to the chief of police a copy of a range evaluation report that evaluates the current status of the range. It's by a guy by the name of Ed Santos. He is nationally renowned as a range consultant, and he has stated in his report that he has never inspected a range that is more safe in terms of containing projectiles than the Miami Valley Shooting Grounds in its current configuration. So I'd be happy to give any of you a copy of that report. I think people already have the 2013 sound study that the city of Vandalia commissioned, and you're all invited. Contact my office, do it through city attorney if necessary, to come take a look for yourselves as this issue comes to the forefront in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you. Could you give us an address? I believe we need that for our records.
7771 Johnson Station, Vandalia.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we'll continue on with the city manager's report, and we do have an information item about our city offices being closed. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know, city offices will be closed on Thursday, November 23rd and Friday, November 24th in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. However, the rec center will be open on Thanksgiving Day from 7 a.m. until noon for the fitness area, gym and track, and the rec center will resume their regular hours on Friday, the 24th.
Thank you very much. We have no action items this evening, nor do we have any old business, and that brings us to our first resolution for the evening, and that is 17-R-93. Mr. McDonald, by title only, please.
17R93, a resolution waiving the formal bidding process and authorizing the purchase of a Lucas CPR device requested by the Fire Department from Physio Control, Inc. in the amount of $13,148.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, so the Division of Fire is requesting approval to purchase its second Lucas CPR device using remaining funds from its capital budget. The Division of Fire has attempted to obtain grant funding but has been unsuccessful. The first Lucas device was purchased in 2014 with funding from the Firehouse Sub Grant. The Division of Fire is proposing to purchase the Lucas 2.2 chest compression system from Physio Control, who is the sole source provider for this product.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move that we approve Resolution 17R93.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilman Herbst, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 17-R-93. Are there comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Farst?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. We have an ordinance in its first reading this evening, and that's ordinance 17-33. Mr. McDonald?
Yes, Your Honor, and I just want, I noticed there's a lot of people in the audience to remind council and the audience that this is an ordinance in the first reading, and we're required to take every ordinance to 2 readings. And so this will be simply moving it on to the next required reading tonight. And public comment and such is at the second reading is when we have that opportunity. And again, just to point out that this is a citywide ordinance. It is not site-specific. Should it pass, any site would have to come back as a conditional use and go through another process. Sorry for all that commentary, but
Thank you.
I wanted to make sure the folks out there knew what was going on. Ordinance 1733, an ordinance amending the Vandalia Code to provide for mulch processing facilities as a conditional use.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, so this ordinance would establish a mulch processing facility as a conditional use in the agricultural district. Additionally, the legislation does establish conditions that all mulch processing facilities must comply with in order to be granted conditional use approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 17-33 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayler, second by Councilman Gerhardt, that we do approve ordinance 17-33 in its first reading. Are there comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes, I'm going to say yes, and it's after hours and hours of extensive review of the material, I have become convinced that we have came up with a fair way to allow mulch processing in the city of Vandalia under stringent conditions.
Councilmember Fairst?
No.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 6-1. We have an ordinance's second reading. Mr. McDonald, 17-28.
An ordinance rezoning the property generally located at the northwest corner of Buttercup Avenue and Helke Road from residential single-family to neighborhood business and amending the zoning map of the city.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Village Square Center is requesting a rezoning from residential single-family 4 to neighborhood business as part of its planned unit development amendment request. The purpose of the rezoning is to allow for an expansion of permitted uses because the approved PUD limits uses to small retail shops and office condominiums. The future land use map projects this area for commercial development. This 1.3-acre property is abutted by neighborhood business zoning to the north and residential single-family 4 zoning to the south, east, and west. The Planning Commission reviewed this rezoning request at its October 10th meeting and voted 4-0 to recommend approval, subject to the PUD amendment for this site being approved.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will open a public hearing. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion.
I'll move we approve ordinance 17-28 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Herbst, that we do approve ordinance 17-28 in its second reading. Comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Fairst?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Ordinance 17-29, Mr. McDonald.
1729, an ordinance approving a major amendment for Phase 4 of the Village Brooks Estates being property generally located at the northwest corner of Buttercup Avenue and Helke Road in the residential single-family 4 district with a PUD overlay.
Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Village Square Center is requesting an amendment to its planned unit development to allow for an increased number of land uses. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its October 10th meeting and voted 4-0 to recommend approval subject to the rezoning of this property being approved.
Thank you. Once again, since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will open a public hearing. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I move that we approve ordinance 17-29 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Forrest, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve ordinance 17-29 in its second reading. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Faust?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Ordinance 17-30, Mr. McDonald.
1730, an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31, 2018.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, so this ordinance would adopt 2018 appropriations for the City of Vandalia. City Council conducted 3 budget workshops to review and discuss the proposed budget. Major changes being initiated as part of the 2018 budget include the elimination of comp time payout for salaried employees, the addition of 3 new full-time firefighter paramedic positions, as well as the elimination of 3 part-time firefighter paramedic positions. Changes that were made to the budget as a result of the budget review sessions include, again, an additional $5,000 to the parks maintenance capital budget for the art park. So the total amount for that item will be $10,000. $80,000 was added to the golf maintenance capital budget for a total of now $130,000 for bunker renovations. But $50,000 was eliminated in 2019 and 2020 for the golf maintenance budget for bunker renovations. So those renovations will all be completed in 2018 rather than being spread out over several years.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 1730, second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Ayers, that we do approve. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm so sorry. This is an ordinance in its second reading, and once again, we have a public hearing, which I'm opening now. So if there's anyone interested in making comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and your comment. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And do I need to ask for a motion again? I'll ask for a motion again.
Move to approve ordinance 1730, second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Ayers, that we do approve ordinance 17-30 in its second reading. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ayers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Faust?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. We have an emergency ordinance this evening, and that's 17-32. Mr. McDonald?
1732, an ordinance authorizing Arlene Setzer, Mayor of the City of Vandalia, to accept the retirement of John Cruzy as city manager and to rehire him by entering into a new employment contract for the position of city manager, establishing the salary of the city manager, and providing for a merit bonus and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve.
Public hearing?
Emergency.
We
An
do have a
emergency?
public hearing. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Strike 2.
It's a strike 2 tonight. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Once again, this is an emergency ordinance, so I'm opening a public hearing. So if there's anyone who would like to make comment about this ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and your comment. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. And now I will ask.
I
Do you
just
want?
wanted to make a couple comments here on.
Certainly.
This
Great, thank you.
this has been considered in executive sessions several times. The executive sessions were called in relation to the city manager's employment and performance. We also, at November 6th council meeting, we provided an opportunity for public input at a public meeting, which was statutorily required for this type of procedure. And right now it is before council to determine what type of action they want to take with it tonight.
Thank you. Okay. I will ask for a motion.
I move that we approve ordinance 70-32 as an emergency.
Second.
Who was second?
Me.
Okay. It's been moved by Councilman Ayers and second by Vice Mayor Lewis that we do approve the emergency ordinance 17-32. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
No, and the motion carries 6-1. We have no reports from boards or commissions tonight. The bill listing for October 2017 is $2,760,322.31. And that brings us to council comments, starting with Mr. McDonald. Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
I just want to remind council that the next meeting of the Zoning Code Update Steering Committee is scheduled for December 12th at 4 p.m., if anyone's interested in attending that meeting.
Is that it? Anything else? Okay, thank you. Councilman Herbst?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Councilman Ehlers?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilman Blakesley?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilman Gerhardt?
No comment tonight.
Councilwoman Fairst?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
No, thank you.
I only have one comment this evening. At our workshop, and many of you were at our workshop, we were privileged to have from St. Chris the robotics team. And they were they fourth and fifth graders? Fourth and fifth graders, but you would have thought that they were high school students, or even, I think somebody had the comment that they might even want to take our place because they spoke so eloquently. And what they were requesting was that through their project using water, that we let people know that disposing of medications through our sinks or toilets or whatever, if we would put that on some of our communication to let people know that it is a hazard to the environment. And I think that we're going to be doing that for them. But they were very, very impressive, to say the least. So with that, meeting is adjourned.
You'd rather go to that.